Hey guys, it's Brian from Arrowhead Garage, and today we're tackling a job that most DIYers who own Porsche Cayennes will not want to take on yourself. If your window regulator has gone out in your Cayenne because, no worky, I'll tell you what. So see my friends over at FCP Euro, they have window regulators for a great price. Not sponsored by those guys. This is just who I use for all my Porsche parts when it comes to it because they offer lifetime warranties on all their parts. So if you've never done a window regulator in a Porsche Cayenne, let me tell you, on a scale of 1 to 10, if 10 is an engine rebuild, the stress of doing this the first time, if you're not a pro, you're probably looking at about a 7 just because of the things you're going to have to do to get that window regulator out of this door. So with that being said, watch this entire video. It is long. I take you step by step by step. I don't cut corners. I show you everything you need to do if this is your first time repairing your window regulator. You're probably asking me why. Brian, why take the time and make this long video? Because if you're the dealer and have a dealer do it, it's going to be about $1,500 to $2,000 for the dealer to fix your window. Now, if you go to Porsche and just buy the part, do it yourself, that part's going to run you $400, $500, $600 depending on what dealer you go to. This part right here, a little over $100 with shipping and everything else. So do yourself a favor, head over to FCP Euro Auto, link down below. Again, no affiliation link, no sponsorships, just great guys with great products. Buy one of these for yourself if you need to replace your window regulator. With that being said, watch the entire video, all of it. Don't skip around, watch the entire video, then make the determination if you have the skill set and the tools in order to pull this job off. If you don't, start calling dealers or maybe some independent Porsche shops in your neighborhood and see if they can do the job and what it's going to cost you. But for me, being a DIYer for the last 20 plus years on Porsches, I can handle this job without a problem, and I want to take you along. So with that, let's stop the yapping and let's get to wrenching on this week's episode. Let's go. All right, let's get to working on this thing. Go ahead and open the door. The trim piece right here that pops off, and I believe it's going to pop this off as well. There we go. All right, there are two openings, one up here, one down here, and they take the T30. So we'll go ahead and we'll get those two screws out. Okay, that's what the first one looks like. It's just tight. All right. Okay, there's the second one. This is what's holding this back on. Get your trim tool, stick it in here, and work it out. There it is. Okay, then this piece here. And off it comes. All right. That's all the glue from the leather being put on this. Nice. Okay. Now the cover's off. You have a T30 over here. You have a T30 right here. Let's take those two off. Now, they are the same bolts as this over here, so you'll be fine. Next one's right here. All right, those 4 bolts out. Now the 2 screws down below. Now, down here, you have a screw here and a screw here. That is going to be a T15. That is going to be a T15 head on that one. That one there, and one there. Those are black ones. That's what they look like. All right, 2 of those bad boys. Put them off to the side. Take our tool, kind of get it in here. Just kind of pry open that door. So now we're just going to go around and pop off this door panel. Going to start down here. Okay. Get in back behind the carpet. There it is. Maybe one more here. Nope. Now we're just going to lift this off. Okay, now all right, so now the door panel's off. We got to disconnect all these cables down here. Okay, speaker just pulls right out on that one. Down here, this looks like it's part of the regulator motor. All right, so get this out and I'll show you. Push in right here, and that will slip out, and you can then pull this out. That's how you get your door handle done. Now just that pesky motor down there. Okay, so to get the window regulator off, take a screwdriver on this orange part, push down, and that's going to release it, kind of like that, and then you can wiggle it out. Now the whole door panel, you're safe to take it away. Next thing we do is take off the 3 bolts here that hold the motor on. T25. Okay, take the motor out. You have one here, one here, one here. Down, loosed up. All right, that's what those look like. Little silver ones. Okay. Those 3 are all the same. You can't take this panel off with the motor in, so. All right, now this kind of pulls off. You can see there's the. Okay, I think we'll let that hang for now. Next, there's a rivet, there's a rivet, there's a rivet, there's a rivet here. These are rivets as well, but they're reversed rivets in a sense. Then you have, looks like a T30, 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 a T30 to take off. So I'm gonna go get a drill. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot. I'm gonna start at the bottom and go up. So we'll go with this one right here in the dead center. Okay, little black bolts, and there's, what do we say? Well, we'll count them. 1, 2. Since it's close to Halloween. Yeah, yeah. What is it? How did the count do that? Yeah. Let's see. Number 3 is over here. There's 3. There's 4. I bet this battery is just about dead. Yeah. So that's number 4. Number 5 is over here. There's 5. 6. 6, 7, 8. Right over here. 9. So there's 9. Okay. Now, the fun ones. I was drilling out these rivets. And then below here. Yeah, see how that's already loose in the bottom? It feels like there's something up here. Now we have this rivet, this rivet, this rivet, and this rivet. There's 4 here. These 2 here, they look like they are reversed rivets, is what I'm looking at, so we may have to cut them that way. But to get out a rivet, you have to drill it out. Okay. So to remove these rivets, here's what you're going to do. Get yourself a punch. Of course, everything you need, there's a list down below. Buy them off Amazon. You're going to make me a nickel, maybe that. But you're going to punch out that center piece right there. So let me show you. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do this one over here. You get it in there. Take you a hammer, and you're just going to punch it out. Okay, next one. And next one. Okay, now let's drill. I know it sounds scary, but it's not that bad. Now you will need to put new rivets in, and I will show you how to do that too. There's a gun that you can just do by hand. Pop them, pop them, pop them, pop them back in. I have a pneumatic one. That means it hooks up to the air and it goes psh, 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 psh. But we'll come to that when we go to reinstall everything. So grab yourself a drill. Let's find a drill bit that will fit just inside of there. Okay, let's try that one. That one there goes into the hole. So let's try to drill out that inner part. Go slow. You don't need to rush this. Okay, now that we've popped those through, get our drill bit. As you can see, the drill bit is bigger than the hole. So we're just going to drill through. Try not to go too far. Just want to get rid of that rivet, and it's only maybe a 1/4 inch. And broke my damn bit. Okay, you've now officially gotten rid of the rivet. It's gone. And move on and just do the next ones. Drill it in, and then just kind of slowly work it. And eventually that head is going to just pop off. There it is. Okay. 2 more. There it is. And 1 more. Remember, the glass is right here, so be careful. Almost. Now we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 out here. So our next trick are these two rivets here. Now they're reversed, you can't drill them. So I'm going to try a Dremel and see what we can do here. And again, this all gets covered up. No one's going to ever see it. Okay, now that we've cut those heads off, we can see where we can drill. Okay, so I want to take our punch, and you can see there's a different color in materials. One is steel, one is aluminum, and we're just going to put a dent in there. Actually, we just pop them out. See if we can drill now. Again, you have a glass right there. There we go. It appears we're going to have to take off the weather stripping. So just kind of grab on it and pull it, and it will come out of its little channel. And there's one more rivet right here. Let me bring you in. You can see it's right there. One more rivet right there. Let me just see if there's... Looks like there's a rivet on both sides. So let's go ahead and we'll get that one drilled out. Okay, one rivet out there. Yep, that's what it was. That rivet right there. So there's one more over here. It's gonna be kind of hard for you guys to see, but right there in the door, right here's the mirror. It's bam right there. You can feel it. It's a tiny rivet. It's smaller than the other ones. Now, whether I can get in here now. Oh shoot. Let's see what happens now. See if I can drill this out. Whoosh. Almost wonder if I can get a screwdriver. That's all it took. Let's refresh. You have two small rivets here. You have a rivet here. You have a rivet here, 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 and here. You have two reverse rivets here. And this one up there. So now we'll go ahead and pull the clip out and up. That will disconnect this one. I think you can just pull out. That's just taped in, so we'll just untape it for now. Okay. And then we'll just kind of, something else here. Down here on the bottom, there's another part. So the second wire, which is holding in the wire loom for the mirror, so you can take the door off, is this one right here. Basically get a pair of needle-nose pliers, hold onto it, lift up, and it will pull out. Now, we can fish this out. Fish these wires out. And that will come out with the rest of the door. Now this whole metal piece here should come off. So there is a rubber piece in here that was riveted to here that has the door pull hung up on it. This little blue thing here, so this here little blue push through, take a pair of needle-nose pliers, and we're just going to push this through. There we go. See if that gives us any extra room. So what's holding us up now is the regulator on the back side of the motor. And I'm going to just take a rubber mallet and see if I just can't. There we go. There it is. Now's the fun part. There's 4 bolts that hold the frame into the door. Right here, there's a bolt here, and then there's a bolt here behind these plastic things. Just pull that off. Comes off just that easily. And then the other one is down here. And then back here on the side of the door, there's a little rubber grommet. Just take your trim tool, pop it off. Just a little plastic grommet. Take the tool, get underneath there, pop it off. Then you can find your other bolt back there. There's also one more just like that, about the same location across on the door here. Then there's one more, yep, of those little pieces, like up top, and that exposes the next bolt in. Okay, we're getting closer. Okay, we are just 4 bolts away from pulling out this window regulator. So down here, this is a T45 bit. Great torque. Interesting. Okay, to the other side. And there it is. Why that other one didn't come out, I don't know, but that's what that one looks like. Okay, I'm going to do this top one over here. It's in there pretty far. I can reach in and grab this one. And bottom it goes. So, one more. All right, well, we got 2 of them out. One still in there and one dropped to the ground. 50%. That's not too bad. Okay, there is one more cable. It's this one right here to come out. You can see it's going to pull out of the door. But you basically stick this hole here and pull out. And that will release that connector. And then you can take it out. So motor has to come out too. So motor's out. There we go. What are we caught on? All right. That's how you take the window out of a Cayenne. Now we've got this up on our little bench here. There's 2 screws that we can remove that hold the glass in place. Let's go ahead and take those out. They are T25s. There's one. And there's 2. Now we should be able to move these, fold those back, yep. And then this glass should pop out. And there's one. Those, hold on to those. All right, one glass out. Now, we have to drill these rivets out. Once again, we're just gonna punch those rivets. don't look like through yet, so hit them again. I need a bigger platform to work on here. Now you can't reach the back side of this one. Let's get this one over here. Kind of see how that goes. See if we can drill this one out. Broke my damn bit. Okay, one regulator out. Okay, it goes in just like that. So let's grab our new one. All right, we have our new window regulator from FCP Euro. And the way you place these in, you're going to see that these rollers, they have 3 that look the same and 1 that's different. Let me zoom you in so you can see what I'm talking about. See how it has this black tab, kind of just at an angle? And then the same thing over here, there's an angle. Same thing over here, there's an angle. But this one kind of shoots up into the regulator. This one here is always going to be this side right here. So if you're working on the driver's side, that's your mirror, boom. Always going to be right there in that side, the other 3. And this is how it should lay out. Remember, the motor faces that way, so this has to be that way. And now we can just line everything up and put some rivets in. Oh yeah, and do not take this off. Do not take this off. Leave that until we get to that step. Leave this intact. Trust me. So the kit does come with new rivets. And so you're just going to pop those in, kind of hold everything in place here. Okay, we have our 4 rivets in place. Now, you can take a handgun, you can buy it at Harbor Freight, and it's a rivet gun, and you just pop it. I happen to have a air tool for this. It's much easier for me. I've done this enough times with rivets and everything else. Let me grab that tool and I'll show it to you. Now, this is from Harbor Freight many moons ago. They may still have it. I tell you what, this makes your life so much easier. You pit it, psh, the other end comes in here, and boom, boom, boom. Okay, we'll do this one up here. You simply put your gun down on the stud, make sure it's in there, and hit the cord. Hit the trigger. There it is. And that should just snap off. There it is. Okay. Come down, we'll do this one. Open that, come right out. There it is. We're going to do this one. There it is. Okay, and one more up here. Okay, one window regulator installed in our Cayenne. I moved it. So I have to stick the glass into the slot there, and then like that. Okay, I think I'm good now. Okay, now to put these in, lift up the window, just kind of slide them on. Be careful not to put too much tension on the glass. Don't want to break it. There we go. There's that one. There's that one. Okay, now if those are in place, we can then, now if that's in place, we can then take our nut, we can now take our washer and screw and put those into place. All right, now don't over tighten them, just snug them up. Okay, that's back into place. Now we're getting ready to put the whole frame back into the Cayenne door. You need to find these little pins. There's one pin here on the back side of the frame, and then over here you find another one right there. These go on the door. Let me show you that. When you get to your door, you're going to slide that in back behind here, and these pins Those pins are going to go right there. In the same way with over here. You can see it's right there. Those two pins, that's going to set your door to the correct height, or your window frame to the correct height of the door. And then just for safety, we're going to push this window back up. Make sure to keep that taut. So if you find these little things here, there's 3 of them. They go in, one on the bottom, the front, and then both bolts on the back side of the window frame. And so, see, mine's broken. I only have half a clip here. So after 20 some years, but we're going to use some electrical tape and see if we can't hold this into place. And the way it goes in, the slotted side goes towards the door. This with the little top nut goes to the outside. Okay. All right, let's put this window frame back in. Find your pins. There's one. There it is, locked down. We'll just confirm. Yep, it is locked in there. Okay, she's in. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll bolt the frame in. We're going to get our 4 bolts that look like that. And that's the hex head you'll have there. We'll go ahead and we'll just slide it in. Sit right down in there. I'm going to leave mine just a little bit snug because you can tighten these up with the door panel on. That's going to help adjust everything. Let's do the one on the bottom now. Okay, we'll put this bolt in the door. And then the frame here has to be moved in conjunction with it so we can get this in. Okay, now let's do the other side. Now when it comes to working on the inside of the door, it's kind of a pain. So I got it started. I'll go ahead and use this. I'm gonna have to put an extension on her. Use a short little extension. Okay, and now we'll do that bottom one. All right, now's the fun part of getting the regulator back through the metal door piece and into the motor. So you can't do it, but you have to come in from like the bottom and push it in. So I'm going to take one screw that holds on the metal panel, put it into place here. All right, so I had my wife help me. She kind of held the metal plate in place when I put in just one of these screws. Once that happens, put the screws into the regulator backside, then use your tool to pull the regulator into and snap into that metal door panel. This way it's set securely and straight. Once you get it in there, you'll feel it pop. It's going to be frustrating, I'm telling you right now. Be prepared, be patient, make sure you get all three of those through the holes. Now, you can take your window motor, kind of see orientation there, get out your pair of dikes, and you're going to cut that zip tie that's holding on the wheel into the window regulator. This is the only time you ever let that go. If not, you're in a world of hurt. Once you have it clipped out of there, go ahead and take a pair of needle nose pliers. You're going to yank it out of there, or in my case, it just fell to the bottom of the door, and it is what it is at this point. Go ahead and make sure, before you start to pull out these screws, make sure that window regulator is securely stuck into the metal part of the door. This is the most frustrating part of this build, is getting that regulator, the new regulator assembly, snapped into place into that metal card. Now, once you have that done, unscrew the 3 screws, take your motor, and go ahead and line it up there and get it into place. Alright, let's get it here real quick. Now, I will tell you this, the factory screws that you have, when it comes time to reinsert them into the new window regulator, they sometimes don't want to grab right away. So I found that if I used my electric impact, I was able to get those screws to grab a hold of the window regulator and pull it forward. This is how you're going to secure the window regulator spindle onto the motor, and then your worries are over once you have these 3 bolts or these 3 screws properly in place. I tried by hand, could not quite get it to grab by hand. It was only after I used my electric ratchet here that I got from Home Depot that I was able to get those screws to grab hold of the new window regulator and securely pull them into the window motor. Once you have this done, take a sigh of relief, go grab a beverage of your choice, and take a breath, because you have just made it over the big hump of replacing the window regulator in your Porsche Cayenne. Alright, the next step is to do some wire management, kind of get all your plugs, kind of get ready and set up for you to plug everything back in. Now is also the time to make sure you get all your rubber grommets that pop through the door card, get them in place. Take a screwdriver, pull them in, and just take your time. Be slow about this, no rush, and make sure you get all of the rubber grommets securely fastened back into that metal door card. This is going to help you with any wind noise or any rattles or anything else, so take your time. Don't overskip this step. Take the time and make sure you get all of them. There's this one here in the bottom. There's then this one up here at the top. And again, you're just going to pull it through, kind of latch the, there's a lip to that rubber grommet, put the lip into the metal part, then start to pull it through, use your screwdriver, and you'll eventually work it into place, and you'll see it lays nice and flush. That's how you know you have those rubber grommets back in their proper place. Now that that's done, go ahead and start plugging in your electricals. You cannot hook this up wrong. There's no 2 ones that are the same, so just find where they fit up in there. You're going to see several different cords and cables and connectors. take your time, and you're going to start to see that, oh, yep, that one went in just fine. You're going to grab the next one. It's very easy. You cannot mix this part up, so don't stress about not being able to get your wiring back in the proper place. Only one goes one way, and there's no way you can mess this up. You can't flip it. You can't exchange it. It's perfectly designed. Just take your time. Try to wiggle in each spot. Kind of get a feel for what cord or what plug-in needs to go into what part of the motor that you're dealing with. So go ahead and take your time, work through it, no rush, and you cannot mess this up. So with that being said, take your time and get it done, and we'll run back to the next one. Alright, we're going to plug this one back in there so you can kind of see the colors. So when it comes time, if you need to, you can pause this video on the very end and know what color goes where to kind of give you a reference if you didn't take all that. And again, we're still working on those grommets. Work your way around, get every grommet back in. That is going to help you make sure you have a nice tight seal. You're not going to get any wind noise or any condensation coming into the vehicle. Now that you have everything in place on the door, get your weather stripping placed correctly on the door. You want to do this before you put on your door panel. It's much easier to do it right now than it is to wait till after that door panel's on. Again, another one of those tips where you take your time and you work yourself around the door frame. You can stretch it, you can pull it, but make sure everything gets clipped back into place. Now, with that being said, go ahead and grab the bolts that connect the panel into the door frame, and there's like 7 of them or so. Take your time and just work yourself around. Now, remember those 4 rivets that we had to drill out? This is a spot where if you really wanted to, you could go back and re-rivet those 4. But I'm choosing not to do it because I don't think that it's really that important. And again, right here, remember we had to drill out those rivets as well? Again, they hold on this plastic part behind the door. And again, they were reversed riveted. So we can't even duplicate that the way the factory did it. So I'm just going to leave it alone, and we're going to move forward to getting our door panel on. Now, on the door panel, you're going to have another wire that clips into the motor, the window motor. Get that into place, and earlier you saw how that little handle swings back and forth to lock into place. You'll also have another cable that connects your speaker into it. Alright, so the next part is how to get your door handle release. Now look at this thing. See that little knob right there? That's just going to go down into the door panel. Natural, the way the cable works, it wants to put it to the outside, but you need to push it to the inside in order to make this all work correctly. So the nub goes in. So stick that into the little circle thing, twist it, clip it in to the door, and then those 2 back pieces, they will clip right into place just like that. Make sure to take some time, kind of snuggle on it, kind of move it around. Make sure this is tight before you go ahead and put the door panel back on the door. This is very important to make sure that you can open and close the door from inside. Alright, now that you have the door hung, take your hand and just work it around the outside edge, and all those plastic clips are going to grab onto the door. Now your panel's in place. Grab the 4 screws that hold the door panel onto the door, and let's get to screwing these in real quick here. Put one up here, just go ahead and get it lined up, and we'll take our time and get it in there. This is really easy. You're at the very end of this. This should now be feeling very satisfying that you've replaced your door regulator, your window regulator, on your own, and you've saved yourself probably $1,500 if you do it yourself. And again, if you're just not up to it and you're thinking, yeah, Brian, this isn't for me, then absolutely. Just go ahead and take it to the dealer or take it to an independent shop, which I always recommend for these 20-year-old cars. Take it to an independent shop, somebody that knows these Cayennes. There's Porsche-specific shops. Do some research at Google. Get on some forums on Facebook. You're going to find shops in your area that know these cars very well after 20-some years, and they can take care of this problem for you. Don't be afraid to send it to somebody if you just think after watching this video, this is way too much for you to handle. So just take your time. Let's get these 4 bolts in. Make sure they're nice and tight. There's no real torque value. Just make sure they're nice and tight and snug up, and you'll get it done in no time at all. trim pieces back on. Then this door handle slides on. Okay, now the two screws at the bottom. One and the last one, and we are done. Pro tip, put this part of the mirror back on before you put the panel on. All right, guys, that is the entire process of doing the window regulator in your Porsche Cayenne. Now, this was done on the passenger side. For me, it would be the driver's side if you're in Europe with right-hand drive vehicle. About the same on the other side as well. Now, I have not tackled a rear door yet, but once I do, I'll make you a video. So with that, let's test it. Let's see what happens. Look at that. That's what we want to see. Hot diggity damn dog. Cool. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give me a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber already and you have a Porsche Cayenne and you're looking for DIY projects you can do to save yourself some coin, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my Porsche Cayenne videos. And I'll put a link down below. Also, you can watch all my Porsche Cayenne videos. That way you can get up to speed on taking care of maintaining your Porsche Cayenne. And as far as this regulator that busted on us, we're out of here. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time. Here, how'd you rock?